Aloha and welcome to this second module on Meteor. The last module, the first module, was um, one in which I basically just wanted you to type along with people. And I didn't expect for you to have a deep understanding of Meteor by the end of that. But I did want you to kind of get a conceptual overview and kind of understand, oh, there are these things called helper functions, but I don't quite get how they work, but I know they're important. So if you got that kind of insight out of the last module, then that's pretty good for the first week of using Meteor. This module is where we're going to delve in and really try to get you, off the starting blocks, kind of going into the shallow end of the pool, basically. The first thing I want to note about this module is it's the first and only module, really, in the semester, which is 2 weeks long. So application design Meteor part 2, it starts here and it goes all through the following week, one Thursday, and then ends the following Thursday. And this is essentially because the experience for this module is the development of an application called Digits, which I've separated into 6 different segments. And what I've found in teaching this previously is that there's a lot of conceptual thought that goes into understanding each of these, even though, as you see when you go through it, the amount of time it actually takes is not that long. And that was what was kind of deceptive to me before as an instructor, is I thought, oh, this takes like 30 minutes to do this section. Students can just, spend 30 minutes on it and they'll understand it. Oh, no, 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 no. You may only have 30 minutes of typing, but you may have 3 hours of thinking that's required to really deeply understand what's going on. And so for that reason, what you can see, if I go back to the schedule page, is that I'm spacing this stuff out. So there's 2 days to work on Digits Part 1, 2 days for Part 2, 2 days for Part 3, 2 days for Part 4, 2 days for Part 5, and 2 days for Part 6. And my belief is that you will definitely want to do each of these practice WODs at least 2 times. At least 2 times, okay? And you'll probably be doing a lot of thinking and a lot of reference guide, looking up material and so forth, as you do these in order to understand them. So please, I beg of you, do not think that because this module is 2 weeks long that somehow you can slack off, you've got extra time. In fact, you will be working just as hard on this module for each of the 2 weeks, maybe even harder than you were working on those other modules that were only 1 week long. Okay, no joke. This is the real deal. Okay, this particular module. And I've developed a bunch of hopefully helpful materials for you as you try to understand how things work. The first thing is that there is a sample application called Meteor Application Template, along with a 27-minute screencast that will help you understand how it is that we structure Meteor applications in 1.4 and above. And so you'll need to read through this. You should download the application, run it, and watch the screencast. Okay, so you got to read all these things and then watch the screencast to kind of make sure that you understand, because all of your applications in this class are going to need to be structured this way. Okay, this is the modern way to structure Meteor applications, and there's a lot of helpful material in this code here. The second thing, the second example system which I've developed for you is called Meteor Example Form, and this is built using the Meteor application template. But what it does is it provides an example of how to get input from the user using all of the standard form controls. So there's text fields, text areas, checkboxes, radio boxes, pull-down lists, and multiple selection lists. Those are the kind of the standard things. And so the idea of this system is to show you how to use all of those form controllers in Meteor, and how you use them in conjunction with semantic UI so you get kind of the nice usability features. Like when you've got a required field, there'll be a little asterisk there, and it'll show a message if you don't do what's required. So that's an important system to look at, and you should be looking at this stuff, reading through this stuff prior to starting digits, because digits is going to have forms in it, and you're going to have to kind of have a basic understanding of this stuff. The third material is a walkthrough of the digits application as it's completed. I put it up here. I say, you might as well see this from the very beginning, what you're going to end up with at the end. I think that can be useful to you to kind of have a sense of what the finish line is supposed to look like. And then the next reading material is a bunch of hard-won experience from former students that hopefully will help you, avoid certain obstacles with Meteor. Then the rest of these things, you see that it says reference, okay? And that's to say that here are things that I think you're going to have to look up at various times. I don't think you necessarily need to read through them in detail. You may want to click on the link just to kind of see, like what's here. Maybe look through the table of contents. But I don't know that you have to read them in detail right away. You will when you run into problems, these are valuable resources. Okay. On to the experiences. Like I said before, you're going to be building an application called Digits. It's going to take some time. It's going to be confusing because it's going to require you to actually start to not just, type code that's, already there for you or cut and paste code from some kind of tutorial. It's going to require you to actually, try to come up with the code on your own. Okay, so this is an intellectually challenging module. You got 2 weeks to do it. But please, please, please do not think that because you have 2 weeks, you can slack off. This is a full 2 weeks of work. The good news is that at the end of it, if you've assimilated these constructs, you are well on your way to being able to build modern web apps in a very short period of time. Because what you'll see is that after you finish this, if you've assimilated it, it's just a couple hours of work to build an app that's got authentication, authorization, user input, a landing page, all this kind of stuff you can do super quickly in Meteor. That's the great thing about it. In the following week and next week, we're going to go look at a full-fledged application called Bofolios, which will show you what a final project for Meteor for this class and for a hackathon or some other kind of situation would look like. So this is not a this is an example of an end-stage application, but this is a great, I believe, learning path for you to understand the fundamentals of Meteor. So enjoy, get started, use the Slack channel as you have questions, which I'm sure you all will.